Hello viewers, here is a Chronomatic 267 clock by Realistic. Here is a look at the informations. I don't think this has a date code in it. Would have been sold at Radio Shack. It looks very 90s to me. Has a very sleek and modern in the day styling and appearance. I'll check and see if there's a battery in here. There is not. So that's good. In their day, Realistic made very good audio equipment, so I would imagine this piece is no exception. It seems to be made very well. It's got a sturdy quality feel to it. Tuning dial, volume, AM and FM switch. This is a 2-alarm clock. It does have the forward and reverse for setting the alarms and the time, which is an indispensable feature in my opinion. And although this is very hard to read, these labels are very hard for me to read them. It looks like we have time set on the right, radio on and off, sleep, and then snooze. So let's go ahead and plug this up. It has a non-polarized plug. It's actually overall in pretty good condition aside from the paint on the cord. These clocks almost always have paint on the cords. I'm not really sure why. Okay, it's now powered up. And it appears to have a red display, which is not what I was expecting. I thought it was going to have a blue display, perhaps even a vacuum fluorescent display. But such is not the case here, which is fine, honestly, because as far as practical use goes, I'd much rather have the red for the bedroom because at night it's not as penetrating. So that's on the dim setting. This is the bright setting. Makes a substantial difference. So let's see, I'm going to hit time set and we're going to go forwards. So the slow works, the fast works, slow backwards. It's a little bit glitchy there. Probably just needs to be cleaned. Just made like a static sound. I think something turned on. Perhaps the radio or the alarm went off. Let's turn those all off. So you can see we have an LED indicator, which is the only thing LEDs are good for when the alarm is turned on. It's kind of neat. The battery indicator is on, probably because there is no battery present. So let's see here. It is 8:02 p.m. So we'll do time set and we'll go. The PM light is not illuminated, so maybe we'll go backwards. Now it's illuminated. Yeah, this slow button's kind of flaky, slow reverse. It may just need to be cleaned. So let's test the radio and we'll see if it's keeping time while we do that. So that's the tuning, right? So the volume is all the way down. I'm going to turn the radio on. Okay, I don't know if anything happened. Yep, I turned it off. Okay. It's time for me to go to sleep, clearly. So I'm going to turn it on again, and you're going to see that the tuning indicator actually illuminates. That's pretty cool. not getting a very good reception. Oh, there it goes.
Schumer accused President Trump of diverting funds from Puerto Rico's recovery to finance.
Does appear to be keeping time. We've gone up to 8:03.
Graceful discrimination and bigotry. Plain and simple. Let's not beat around the bush here.
The Department of Homeland Security is planning to divert about $150 million from general FEMA funding. Administration
I wonder if
officials
this
say
is
they will
fake
still have
news or
enough
not.
money
I
to
really
operate
don't know.
absent any new catastrophes. The mayor's biannual management report on how the city is doing shows trouble on New York's roads. WNYC's
The volume potentiometer needs to be cleaned.
Compared to the last fiscal year, and while the report doesn't include the latest
Sounds pretty
cyclist
good
deaths,
for the
NYPD
voice
says
anyways.
that number's doubled.
This station is hard to receive. This is from New York. This is probably 95.9. It seems decent.
In a key situation.
Actually, it's not bad at all in terms of sound. That was probably 99.1. That's awful, I don't know what that is.
I'm that bad type, make your mama sad type.
That's supposed to be music? Oh my goodness.
I need somebody to know.
Oh jeez, my studio just fell apart. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I guess the studio is as tired as I am. Okay.
Tickets at power1051fm.com.
other people are saying.
It really does sound, not necessarily that song, but the audio quality of this is really quite good. So anyways, let's turn this off, turn the volume back up, and let's do we'll test the alarm here. So, this button's a little flaky too. So we'll set this alarm for, let's see here, maybe 8:08, and then I'll just quick it a little bit. Too much. 8:09, 10. Okay, and I'm gonna do alarm so we can hear what it sounds like. We got radio and alarm. So now I'm going to take the time and I'll just push this ahead a little bit. Fast. Okay, so it does play the radio behind it, which is kind of ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to put this alarm, whoops, fast a little bit forward, and we'll do this back to radio. Make sure that function works. Okay, so that seems to work. I was not expecting it to be a regular old red LED display, but it does work just fine. We got dim and bright. There's an earphone jack there. Now that's not very dim. I can still see that perfectly fine. It's a little bit dimmer in reality than it looks on the camera. But anyways, so that's that. That's the Chronomatic 267 clock radio. It's in pretty good condition. A little bit of dust on there, but nothing major. So we'll get that cleaned up, and that'll be a nice piece to have somewhere.